And welcome to this robotics tutorial. This is the first tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be taking a look at Arduino, and basically we'll be taking a look at Arduino IDE, which is Arduino development environment. It's an official software by Arduino.cc, as you can see here. And in order to download it, you can just go to software. You can just go to this site Arduino.cc and then go to software and downloads. And once the page opens, you can head down and see this download option. Currently the Arduino version is 1.8.1, and you can download it for Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux, and you can just get them for any platform that you are currently using to develop your Arduino. Okay, so once you download it, and it will be something like this, and you can just this setup, and you can just install it, and once you install it, you can just go ahead and open it. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Arduino intro screen, and I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so Arduino IDE, where IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. This is an official software introduced by Arduino CC, as I told you earlier, and this is mainly used for writing and compiling and uploading code in Arduino devices. There are multiple kind of Arduino devices like Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, and so on and so forth. Almost all Arduino models are compatible with this integrated development environment, and you won't have any trouble uploading code or verifying code for any of the type of Arduino processors that are available. Okay, so this IDE interface basically consists of two parts. The first part is the editor, and the editor is where you write the code and you compile the code. The IDE environment mainly consists of two parts, editor and compiler, where the editor is used for writing the required code, and the compiler is then later used for checking any errors, and for compiling the code and for uploading the code into the Arduino. Okay, so Arduino environment, the IDE environment. The first bar, as you can see here where my mouse is, the first bar is the menu bar, and the menu bar has a couple of options. The first option is file. Okay, so first option is file, and once you click on the file, you'll see that it spawns many options. Okay, so file has many options. We'll go over them one by one. The first is new, which is obviously to create a new program or to create a new sketch. All the programs that you write in Arduino are known as sketches. So any new program that you write will have a name as sketch. Okay, you can change that name, but all the programs in Arduino are called sketches. Okay, so the next option is open, which is quite self-explanatory, and open means that to open any existing projects that are already available. The third is open recent, and it tells you all the recent programs that you opened and all the recent programs that you work with. Okay, so sketchbook. Sketchbook is basically a folder in which all your sketches which you required on the daily basis or which you are working on the daily basis are put there, and you can just use the sketches right away from the Arduino, from the sketchbook panel. Examples. Okay, so these are the examples that come with the Arduino IDE, and there are multiple types of examples. Let's say for example, the built-in examples have all the basics and digital analog communication, and all the things that you'll need for the basic purposes of this IDE. Then there are some kind of examples that come with libraries. Okay, we'll talk about libraries further in this course, but there are some examples which come with custom libraries that like this LCD backlight, RGB backlight library, and we'll talk about these libraries, and we'll talk about. Okay, so the next option is close, and close means basically to close the current project or the current sketch that you are working on. Save is simply save, and it will save on the predetermined location where your sketch is, and in order to change the location you just click on save as. Okay, these are print page setup for printing and the print option for printing and selecting the printers and all. Then there is preferences. Okay, so preferences is quite important and we'll just take a look at it. If you open preferences, there is a dialog box, and it tells you that the first things it tells you that the sketchbook location, which means that all your new sketches will be saved in this location, and you can access them via the sketchbook panel, and all your code which you put in this location will be accessible from the sketchbook panel. Okay, editor language is system default, you don't have to change it, and there are many things that you will keep them as they are. Okay, so the preferences panel is basically for customizing your experience with this, and if you are just beginning to understand this Arduino IED's environment, I would suggest that you don't change things around in this. Okay, and the last option in file is quit. Okay, then we have edit, and there are multiple options in edit. Basically these options are used for copying, pasting, and all the text editing that you do in the text editor, which is and these are quite useful when you are editing and formatting text. Okay, so sketch is for compiling and programming. As you can see, this is a verify and compile button, this is an upload button, this is upload using programmer, and there are multiple things that you can play with this once you start learning, once you start building your own code and uploading them to the Arduino boards. Second last is tools, and in tools these are for mainly with communication for from the Arduino boards. As you can see, you can select your board, and there are many types of boards that are available, and the most commons are the Uno and the Nano and the Mega, and but there are many boards, and if your board is not available here, you can just go to board manager and add it from there. Okay, so these are the processors. The currently Arduino is basically based on 80 mega 382p 328p, and there is an also a bootloader which is an old group bootloader 382p, and you don't have to worry about it, just select the whatever is selected and keep it as it is. Okay, there is a mention of a serial monitor, which serial monitor is basically is an you can consider as an output window where you can print stuff and where you can get output from many things. Okay, and you can use this serial monitor as a external device which shows your all the outputs from the Arduino board. So there is the help, and you can get help on many subjects, getting started, the environment, the troubleshooting. If you have any problems, you can go to the forums online and search your problems there, and due to the vast community of the Arduino boards and due to the vast community of people using this open source software, there are many people that you can go to help with, and there are many forums online that you can post your problems, and there are many people that will be able to help. Below the menu window, below the menu bar, there are 6 buttons. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 and the 6 buttons. Okay, so first button is the verify button, and the verify button does is to verify all the code that you wrote. It checks for spelling errors, it checks for syntax, it checks for anything and everything, is basically compiles the code. Okay, then second button is upload. The uploader verifies and uploads the code to the Arduino IDE, from the Arduino IDE to the Arduino board once it's connected. And the third is new, which is self-explanatory. It enables you to open a new sketch. The fourth is open, opens a previous sketch, and the fifth is save, and it saves the current sketch you are working on. The last is a serial monitor shortcut button, and as I explained earlier what serial monitor does, and we'll be looking at it quite extensively in the coming videos. Menu bar and the buttons below it, there are two sections of this. There are two sections of this Arduino IDE. The first is the text section, in which you write the code. This is called a text editor, and in this you'll write your code and you'll format it accordingly, whichever formatting the Arduino requires. And there is the window below, which is the black window, and this is the output panel. And once you start running your code and once you start dealing with compiling and uploading, you'll see all the compiled errors and all the uploaded messages right down in the output panel. Okay, so these two are quite intertwined with each other, and whatever you write here will be shown as output here, and whatever errors are in your code will be shown here. And it's quite easy to understand the errors because it tells you the line and the and what error occurs in what line. So it's quite helpful to have this window, the command, the control, the output panel open, and it enables you to understand what kind of errors are there. Okay, so this is it. This is it for the first video. This is just an introduction of the Arduino IDE, the development environment, and how this environment basically works, and what type of buttons we have, what types of features we have, and what type of useful things that we can do. Although apart from that, there is a small line of text right down at the bottom corner, and it says Arduino Nano AT Mega 328P on COM3. Okay, so what it tells me that this is the last time I have connected an Arduino Nano, and it was this type of processor, the AT Mega 328P, and it was on COM3. Now, what is COM? COM is basically the communication port that your Arduino is connected to. Okay, so if you have multiple USB ports, all of these USB ports have a different COM profile or COM number. Okay, so this communication 3, which is I have two USB ports on my system, and with the one on the left hand side is COM3, and the one is on the right hand side is COM4. Okay, so whenever I connect something on the right, I should go to the tools and select the COM port from. Okay, so in order to select any COM port, you will just go to tools and go to port. But since I don't have any Arduino connected as of now, the port won't show. But if I do have an Arduino connected, it will detect it here and will give you an option to connect it from right there. Okay, so this is it for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.